Welcome to Josephine's Cooking, and I'm Josephine. Today we'll be filming live at the home store of Bloomingdale's. So come on in and let's see what we're cooking at Bloomingdale's. Grab your pencil and your paper so you could write these recipes down because Josephine's cooking. And here's my good friend Patty. How are you today?
Hi, Josephine. It's so good to see you.
Good. Now tell me, what do you do at Bloomingdale's?
Well, I'm the culinary director here. That means that I do a lot of the cooking demonstrations here. I demonstrate the products that we carry. And I also persuade fabulous chefs like yourself to come in and do demonstrations here in the Bloomingdale's kitchen.
Well, who wouldn't want to do a demo in Bloomingdale's? When I come, I just love it. I feel like I'm Cinderella for a day down at Bloomingdale's. So what are we going to do today?
I'm going to do some appetizers today because when I do my demonstrations, my favorite class, or should we say the customer's favorite class, is the appetizer class.
New Year's, people want to eat light, so this sounds about right.
It's not only light, mostly it's good for you, but most importantly, it's quick and easy.
And that's what we like to do in the house, something quick and easy.
Because when I'm having guests over, I like to enjoy my guests. Let's get started with our first one. This is called roasted grapes, walnuts, and olives.
Really?
And so it's so simple to do. I like to use a couple of different kinds of grapes.
And that looks good.
And I love these. At this time of the year, you can get the big red globes.
And they're so sweet, too.
Very sweet. Then I put in, you can use a mixture of olives. You can use whatever kind of grapes you like. You can use whatever kind of olives you like.
Can I stir while you mix?
You sure can.
Let me just help you because we're going to have a hard day.
And you can also add whatever kind of nuts you like. I prefer pecans. My guy prefers walnuts. So when I'm making this at home, I usually do a combination of both.
So you can use walnuts,
or
you could do the walnuts and the pecans mixed.
Almonds would be good.
All right.
Macadamia nuts could be very interesting.
Oh, okay, especially during the holiday.
You bet, you bet.
Oh, look at that.
And then,
that look delicious.
Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to add about a teaspoon of thyme.
Oh, I love thyme.
And if you have fresh
thyme on fruit?
Oh, yes. If you have fresh thyme, just throw a few sprigs in there because it just adds to how pretty it is when it comes out of the oven. And then we're just going to toss this with a little olive oil, a little balsamic vinegar.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
and salt and pepper. So it couldn't be simpler.
Wow, salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper. It sounds very, very strange, but you will enjoy this immensely.
Oh, this looks good.
And we're just going to bake that in the oven at 350.
And you bake it?
Bake it for 45 minutes at a 350 oven. And
now,
it roasts and it blends all the flavors together.
Now let me ask you, when you bake it in the oven, what happens to your grapes?
They stay just the way they are. They do not burst. Everybody thinks they're going to burst, but they don't.
Okay, what is the temperature of the oven?
350 degrees.
And for how long?
45 minutes.
Now, this is really easy when you have overshopped and want to run in and just do something.
And you can make it in any quantity you like. If you have just 2 other people, 16 people.
Or whatever.
Just make whatever
Well, you're going to see this around Captain's Hard Times, honey. I'm going to whoop this on them.
This is delicious. You'll like it.
All right. Okay, you want to put this in the oven?
Absolutely.
Now, Patty, what are we finna make now?
These are corn cakes and salmon cream. And the basis for this recipe is for Jewish holidays when it is quite typical to have smoked salmon with bagel, and you have chopped egg, and you have some capers and onions and sour cream, and you put this on your bagel or your matzah, and you pick it up to eat it, and it all falls off. So I just decided to combine them all together, and I just call that salmon cream.
And you made this recipe by seeing all of this and decided to see how it would taste putting it together.
Correct.
That's a good cook. I like that.
Correct. And then I found this wonderful recipe for corn cakes, and it starts off by blending just a can of corn. If you've got fresh corn, that's fine. 1 single can of corn, drain all the water out of it, put it in your food processor, and add 2/3 of a cup of cream.
Okay.
Now, I'm adding just beaten egg.
Okay. Shall I stir?
Sure.
All right, now. Okay.
Because
now, wait, let's run back through this. This is butter.
No butter.
What's in here?
Corn and cream.
Corn and cream. I got it now.
And now we've added the eggs.
Eggs, okay.
And now we're going to add a little melted butter.
A little melted butter.
And we're making this just like we would make pancakes.
All right,
or waffles.
now I see.
Because we've got all of our wet ingredients.
Right.
Our dry ingredients are cornmeal, flour, some baking powder, and
now how
salt
much
and
baking
pepper.
powder? Because, see, we have viewers at home, and they might decide to make this.
A teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
A half a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
A spritz of pepper.
All right.
2/3 cups flour and 2/3 cup cornmeal.
All right, now.
So we have all of our dry ingredients, which will
Okay.
go into all of our wet ingredients.
Oh. Isn't it good to stir without a mixer sometime and take it back to the old-time days?
Absolutely. We're going to make our little corn
And
cakes.
we're going to fry these?
We are going to fry these.
Wow.
My pan is ready for our corn cakes. It's nice and hot. Cooking with any cookery at Bloomingdale's, I've learned how to heat up a pan first.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure if it's hot enough, spritz a little water on it, and your water should sizzle and dance. And then put your fat in, your oil or your butter. Again, if you're not
Now, what
sure,
are you using today to oil your pan?
I'm using just olive oil.
Olive oil. Most people cook with olive oil,
I
and that
think
is
so,
because
too.
it's such a light product, and it's very healthy for you and everything.
And I love
to
the
cook.
flavor.
I do too.
Sure.
I do too.
So now we want our fat to get hot enough. And again, if you're not sure if it's hot enough, spritz a little water in it so we know that it's hot enough. And then I just use a teaspoon, and you can see this sizzling, and that's all there is for a corn cake. Now this is an appetizer size, and you can also make these as standard pancake sizes, and they're wonderful with scrambled eggs.
But Patty, I must share something with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm from the South.
Okay.
I recall making hot water cornbread very similar to this. My good friend Albertina Walker makes one of the best hot water cornbreads, and Ida from Saks that I've ever seen.
And you
Oh,
just
those
want to
look delicious.
Wait, again, just like pancakes when they
Now,
start
what
to
is the
bubble.
temperature of your
I have this at medium-high.
medium-high? Now, if it started to brown faster than you like, that means to lower your temperature so it'll have time to cook through.
But it's also one of the you raised an excellent question, because it's one of the reasons why I like to use a smaller fry pan. Because these cook so quickly that if you're trying to do a whole griddle full of them, they'll just get away from you. Okay, and so now, once they've fried up very quickly, I like to just put them onto a paper towel to let some of that oil drain off. I like to freeze these. I will get about 60 appetizer sizes. I will put them in the freezer in a heavy plastic bag, and then when I'm ready to have instant appetizers, all I have to do is take these out. They're thawed in about 15 minutes.
And they're ready to go.
And they're ready to go.